Yo, 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 what is going on, everybody? Sorry for the hold up. Let me be honest real quick. We were all running a little bit late, and then some things happened. It was, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and now we're finally back. Sorry for the 20-minute wait. What is going on? We got another episode of Battle Birds podcast with a special guest. You guys know I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast. Let's introduce everybody, and then we'll wait for the third Battlebird podcast and we get it going. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Tone.
What's good, everybody? My name is Tone DeShields II. And first things first, I gotta let y'all know I'm grateful to Philly Mike, grateful to Gates, I'm grateful to Fresh. He'll be on a little later. But I'm just grateful for you guys for allowing me to come on, to talk Philly talk, man. Listen, I do this Eagles content thing, I do the Sixer content thing. Y'all can find me on YouTube, Tone DeShields II. The show is chalk it up where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Lock in, you guys. I'm grateful.
What's going on, everybody? Steve, Gate City Sports Channel. Hey, there's a lot to talk about, man. I was hoping we get Fresh in here right from the jump, man, so, Fresh could bring that energy. But
right.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'll just kick it off, and I'll start us off with this, Mike. Does this feel like the last stand for the 2020 season right here?
Yeah. I mean, again, after coming off a bye week where you were really supposed to gather the troops and stuff, I think Carson Wentz addressing the team after the Giants shoulda, coulda, woulda been done in the bye week because, you can't come out of a bye week with 2 weeks to prepare and lose to a 2-win team. Hence, the Giants were playing better, but you can't do that. Real quick, Fresh will be on in about 5-10 minutes. He has some stuff he had to take care of. He will be back in a little. But yeah, the Eagles sit at 3-5-1. A loss to the Browns, could end up, giving up the top spot in the East. And then you got that 5-game stretch of the Saints. I mean, their quarterback situation now, who knows what it is, but still the Saints, the Packers, the Seahawks, the Cardinals, like it doesn't get any easier. And we keep saying next week we gonna put it together next week. So I'm running out of next weeks, and I'm one of the most optimistic Eagle fans. Like if you watch my content last year, which was my first year, I held on when we lost to Miami and everybody gave up. I said, we still got it. I keep rocking until we're mathematically out, but they just look, you got to get a W. You got to show me. You got to show me. And so if I don't see it this week, when will I see it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's concerning because it just feels like so much of the losses we suffered this season were almost self-inflicted. And like that's a frustrating place to be. I'm gonna let Tone go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No, but you're right. That's like most of those. You're right, but that's the story of the Eagles, though. Everything that we do, most of our losses, most of our downfalls are self-inflicted. Like that Giants game, penalties, missnaps, people not being where they're supposed to be. That's the constant narrative when it comes to the Philadelphia Eagles. And just bouncing off your point when it comes to Carson adjusting the team. I have a real problem with the fact that I'm pretty sure you guys heard about the whole rumor about poor practice habits, right?
Yeah.
I have a big problem with Carson having to answer those questions for the simple fact that why Carson's not the coach. Carson doesn't set up practices. Carson doesn't, tell people, what routine, what drills do in practice. That's all Doug Peterson. So my thing is, people love to, point the finger at Wentz because it's so easy. But there's a lot of things that are going wrong is because Doug Peterson is too easygoing. He's too lackadaisical.
I agree. And that was my problem is that I made a video where I pointed this out. And I've been calling for Press Taylor's head for a while. And I have nothing against Press Taylor. And look, maybe this kid is a very smart young man, and maybe he understands the game. Maybe he's very good at play design and all that stuff. That does not make you a position coach. It just doesn't. And I just feel like when I saw the regressions out of a fifth-year quarterback early on, and it took several games to get it to an acceptable level, it's still not flawless. There's still some mechanical issues I can nitpick.
For sure.
But so much of this is a function of coaching. And then you heard Trey Thomas. Trey Thomas leaked something about practice. And he talked about, really when you look at a game, and I can verify this as a guy who's played it before.
Okay.
Okay. when you're looking at a game, when you're in practice, if a coach doesn't take your first read away with pressure, he doesn't take that hot route away, he's setting you up for failure. He's setting you up to fail in that game because you're not going to know what to do in a game type situation when the inevitable happens and the team watches enough film of you to know where your hot read is and they take it away. Exactly. So now you're either stuck with a very minimal gain that's just not, you're coming out there to punt the ball, or there's a big play against you, a sack, a strip, a pick. You know what I mean? Like, I thought Trey was hitting on something that
he was spot on. He was spot on.
Doug got to be better, man. Like, we can't have guys who, saying it's like some of us can look at this and see like, yo, coaching's not right, and it's not. It's just not right.
No one's challenging. Right last year. No one's challenging within that room. No one's challenging. Man,
Carson Wentz, the wide receiver coach from last year. When I say straight dookie stick, that dude was a bird.
Oh my God!
Like
Aaron Moorhead is doing his thing.
Aaron Moorhead, because Aaron Moorhead has a very hard task, and I think he's handling it pretty well with getting young guys having to play these pivotal roles. I honestly think Aaron Moorhead's done a much better job than a lot of people realize, given the circumstances that are going on.
Hey,
definitely.
Hey, what is your take on Press Taylor and Aaron Moorhead, but more importantly, Press Taylor not being there with everything after Doug really gets filtered through Press Taylor? Do you think we can see a guy like Richie Rich, Marty Morningway step up in this position, have a great performance, and then spark some what is Press Taylor really doing type performance? Like, do you think we're still going to use Press Taylor's stuff even though he's not there? Because again, as you said, me and Gate last year were on the same page as get Press Taylor out of there. And they did. They didn't get him out of there, but they promoted him. A guy who weren't comfortable with being a quarterback coach is not only the quarterback coach, but he's the passing game coordinator and second to Doug Peterson when it comes to like running this offense.
He has too many responsibilities to me. He has too many. He has his hands on too many things when it comes to this Eagles team. Press Taylor has single-handedly been too buddy with Carson Wentz. They're too close to peers. They're too close to age. Like we all know, when Filippo and Frank Reich were here in his organization, they challenged that man to no end, to the point where he had no choice but to focus on his mechanics. I feel like since then, people have just been allowing Carson to kind of fall by the wayside when it comes to the little things. And honestly, to answer your question directly, if with Press Taylor not being there, sure, we can be optimistic about the play calling changing a little bit, but at the end of the day, Doug has final say. And as long as Doug's calling those plays, as long as Doug is staying the person he is, this Eagles team will never really turn that corner, in my opinion.
Hey, real quick before you go, Gate, give me your over and under, because a lot of people are saying it, and we know. Listen, shout out to Sexy Vegan who said it first, and shout out to Dre Singh. They say talking about running the ball. Well, Sexy Vegan said only the Eagles will play in a 100% rain game and have Carson Wentz drop back 50 times. So, with that being said, what is your over and under on 25 total runs?
Total? So that means he's splitting with Scott. Total.
Go ahead.
Yo, it should happen. Sexy Vegan. You got it right. It should happen. But come on. It's Doug. I'll believe it when I see Doug do it.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that with the Browns, Baker Mayfield has only thrown the ball more than 30 times, I believe only maybe 2 or 3 times this whole season?
Because their coaching staff knows what works, and they got their running game, and so they do it.
They know, not just they know what works, they know who their quarterback is. They know they have a good read on the temperature of their quarterback. They know exactly what their quarterback is capable of right now, And I mentioned in one of my videos, if the Eagles, and I know I'm kind of shifting a little bit, but if the Eagles allow Baker Mayfield in that running game to get into a rhythm, most importantly, that running game, because it begins and ends with the running game with the Browns. If their running game gets into that rhythm, if they're breaking off, 5, 6, 7 yard runs consistently, this game is over in the first quarter. It's over because they can't. The Eagles suck at misdirection, and the Browns love play actions. They love bootlegs. They love mixing in that running game with the passing game. They love doing that. So at that point, if the Browns are averaging 4 yards a carry in the first quarter, this game's over.
Yeah, it would be disheartening because then what's going to happen is they're going to keep our defense on the field. We have good in the red zone this year, about 5 yards an attempt on us. Like, they're going to get in the red zone. It's only a matter of time. It would be difficult, but I will say this: when we're disciplined against running backs, we do well.
That's true.
Feel like the smoke and mirrors gets us, like, because we lose containment from the defensive end. Sometimes the linebackers don't fill the correct gap because they don't see the pulling guards. They don't see things correctly. And I think that's it. I think that's the bigger issue here. And my fear is you get a team like Cleveland that can really run the ball. They go watch the film and see where we're struggling. And not only are we trying to contain the running backs, but now they're hitting us with these receivers and even with the running backs hitting us with some end around stuff and things like that. And that would be my concern because we seem to be a sucker for that play.
And our Russian defense is historically good.
Yeah.
Honestly, this year has been in my opinion, the worst. Like, we gave up to the Giants two games in a row. Well, not in a row, but two appearances in a row against the Giants. We gave up over 150 rushing yards. Seriously? Saquon's not even in. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. But I wanted to say this though, when you our Russian numbers are skewed a lot because it's the wide receivers, it's the quarterbacks. L-Jack got us, Danny Jones got us, a bunch of receivers, Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, Brandon Ayuk for the Niners. The Steelers got a 50-yard run on us. So when you look at yards per carry from the running backs, we're top 5 in the NFL in our defensive line stopping the running backs yards per carry. We're top 5. But again, we're getting gashed by this misdirection. I mean, don't be surprised if Baker Mayfield don't run for 55, 60 yards on us, because that's just what you got to do against the Eagles. You got to pull.
Can I ask you a question? Does that speak more so to the lack of talent at the linebacker position or the poor scheming by Jim Schwartz?
I think it's a little both. I do think so Jalen, I did a video where I was kind of pointing out some of the mishaps we were having, and Jalen did a really good job of pointing out where Alex Singleton got beat in the Baltimore game. And what he did is he didn't recognize it as pulling guards, and he immediately shot towards the running back, which left that whole middle because he wasn't there for the gap containment for essentially, for us to get just completely slashed by Lamar Jackson on that touchdown run. So it's a little of both. Like, you could definitely hit Doug for the scheme because when you play the wide 9, then you have to have discipline. That interior has to hold. And if it doesn't, the linebackers have got to be in the right gap. It puts a lot of stress if it gets to the second level for them to do that. There's a deficiency in talent. There's a deficiency in talent.
Sorry about that.
It's all good. There's a deficiency in talent, like obviously in the linebacker room. Some of it is youth, though. Some of it's not that some of these guys can't play. It's that they haven't had a lot of opportunities to play. Now, I really wish that we took a different approach and we played some of the younger guys more snaps. I would love to see Davion Taylor, a 3rd-round pick that we spent on.
He's our fastest linebacker. He's the fastest linebacker, and he gets no tick. It's weird to me. He actually will help in those containment issues because of his speed, his ability to recover. I've seen him on the special teams just breaking away from people, just like a homing missile. And sure, he's raw, maybe in coverage. Sean Bradley is probably our best coverage linebacker, just from a pure raw talent perspective. But like you said, I agree with you 150%. The young guys don't get enough talent. I mean, not talent, enough time on the field. And I understand we're at a point in the season you're trying to make that final run in the playoffs, and you want to keep have your most experienced guys on the field. But I'm sorry, at a certain point, you have to just throw that out the window. We're in week 10, week 11. Experience is there now. The experience is there. There's no question.
All right, real quick, over and under on Holyfield play time or carries or snaps. Whatever you want to say.
So here's my thing, guys. There's a couple ways we can interpret this. Doesn't mean they're right. It's just the way it could be interpreted. First interpretation is with the signing of Jordan Howard. He's not going to play this week. Okay.
Correct.
So you call up a contact balance back clearly. Maybe this is an indication from Doug that maybe he is going to use these guys for more of those starting downs and distances on first down to get us in better, play calls for second and third down, and then for the third down and short stuff and goal line stuff. You can interpret it that way, and you might be right. You might be really wrong because we know Doug. And what makes sense isn't not always what Doug does.
Exactly.
The man's still trying to tell us that the game is being played on the outside, even though his greatest success was running inside. But I don't know, man. I could pull the little bit of hair I got left, guys. I could pull it out. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys hear? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But like, other than that, man, like, I think you could look at Holyfield and say, like, hey, man, like, he's going to have a role today. Like, he's going to get 5 to 8 carries. But I could also see it to where, you know what? Corey Clement went down, and he's a stand-in fill-in body. I can see it both ways.
And you don't think the rainy game is going to spark up our carries a little bit, even though a guy who's dead set not to run the ball, he's like, look, it's going to take a rainstorm to make me run it, so I might as well start now. They're already on my back. It's raining. If Doug Peterson runs the ball 25 total times or less, especially my biggest thing is if it's working. Like the week 1 against Washington, we got away from the run. Carson started struggling in the second half, but I understood a little bit because Boston Scott and Corey Clement were averaging like 2.8, 2.5, 3 yards a carry. But every game that Miles Sanders is here, or if you go into the game, if you go into halftime and you look at the numbers, there got to be somebody who can come tell Doug, you're running the ball 6.7 yards a clip, my guy. Oh,
yeah, my thing is, he's watching the film more than anybody. He's play calling, so he has to see this. He outsmarts himself constantly. It's a weird thing he does. He has this habit of, trying to be too, like he tries to just be too clever. And my thing is, just keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple. Exactly. If it's working, if Miles Sanders averaging 6 yards, if Miles Sanders averaging 6 yards a carry, Boston Scott only ran the ball 3 times last week, and he was averaging about 20 yards per carry. I would probably keep right. But my thing is, I would continue to feed that. Like it's come on, make it easy, make your job easy. Every game doesn't have to live and die by the pass, right? Like you can say, you know what, today we're going to throw the ball 50 times because Miles Sanders is killing it. I don't care.
Yeah, like, and you know what gets me, Tone, and I think you're definitely onto something here, and it's frustrating because we let him off the hook. That was the worst part. Doug let him off the hook by not completely making them come up and sneak up that coverage and get people in the box to stop the run. That's how you beat them over the top.
Right. Football is a game of attrition. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't understand the way that he schemes things at times. It just seems to be without realization of why a team would react a certain way to what you're doing. Like that's what bothers me about Doug's system that I'm seeing lately is that it just doesn't seem to make sense from analyzing your opponent. You see them in a cover 2 man under. You know it's going to be really tight throwing windows on the outside. So what do? If that corner is going to turn his back and run with the receiver, man, let's go get it. Let's go attack the flats. Let's go attack the front. Let's run the ball at them. Like let's make them come up and defend.
It seems like he runs the same offense against every team. It just seems like he's not really. It seems like he's not sitting back like, okay, we play the Browns this week. Okay, they're not really good at this. Okay, we're going to attack. It just seems like he's thinking to himself, okay, they know we're going to attack their one weakness. Let's attack this weakness. No, dummy. Like, actually, just attack the main weakness. Just keep it simple. Exactly. Just attack it. They're doing it to us.
It's like Doug stops the play before they stop the play. Like, oh, but we can't do that too many times. Like, well, you can until they stop.
You can. Yeah, correct. That's the point.
Yeah, he doesn't come back to the successful stuff, and he doesn't call the game to set up other plays. You know what I mean? You don't do something in the second quarter to set something up for the third. You come in this formation 2 times in a row, 3 times in the first half, and you hit him with this play. Well, you have a play in your playbook that has the same formation, and now you make them bite off it because guess what? You got 8 yards on this play. You got a first down on this play. All 3 plays were successful in the first half, and then you hit that same formation and psych. But also, I want to talk about this real quick when it comes to Doug. There's teams out there that have an identity. The Cleveland Browns have an identity, and this is the thing. Listen, our pass coverage, although it's in the top 10, I think that's kind of sugar-coated because of Ben DiNucci's game, Molin's game. Even Dwayne Haskins beat us, but he didn't have a lot of passing yards. So here's the thing. I still would want to attack, again, misdirection, of course, if I'm playing against the Eagles, but I want to attack that secondary a little bit too. But when you have an identity like Cleveland, they're going to run the ball regardless. And you could come in the game knowing they're going to run the ball and still not be able to stop it because they are really good at their identity. There's teams that say, listen, I know I know we're going to run it, but we run so good, we're going to do it. And Doug does that like we do something good, but we don't do nothing 100% good.
But it's funny, Mike?
He doesn't give us a chance to get to that point. He doesn't give us a chance.
Like, he has a scheme identity, but he doesn't have a team identity. That's the crazy thing. Our scheme identity is a mix of West Coast offense with spread offense concepts. Okay. But we do none of those things well, particularly right now. We just don't. And there's just nothing you say about the Eagles. Like, oh, when you play the Eagles, this is what they're going to do to you.
Yeah, it's been a while since we had that. It's been a while. When was the last time we truly had an identity? Because if you can make an argument that in 2017, sure, our identity was Carson Wentz, then he got hurt, and then our identity became the underdog. So when have we ever definitively had an offensive identity? It seems like we're always. Yeah. It seems like we're playing this share the ball version of football. You know what I mean? Like everybody gets 10. Everybody gets 10. 10 shots. No more than 10 shots. Per person. It seems like we're trying too hard to share the wealth. Whereas though. Listen, I don't care. Travis Fulgham, 10, 15 targets. I don't care. Do it. Do it.
Yeah. And what's crazy is in 2017, we clearly had an identity. We knew what we were. We knew what we did well. In the end of 2019, towards the last few weeks of the season, we finally built that identity. We knew what we were. We knew what we wanted to do to teams. Even though we lacked a lot of personnel, at least there was an identifiable identity to the team. Right. For long stretches of 2018, it felt like chaos. Dudes saying that they don't even know how to use players, some stuff that should never come out of coach's mouth.
It's obvious. My thing is, you got Jalen Reagor. I'm sorry. I understand. Jalen Reagor, he hasn't been able to really get his footing because of the injuries or whatever. But my thing is, it seems like Doug just doesn't know how to use his guys in their most suitable positions. Like, for example, that last Giants game, Boston Scott is the giant killer. He gets 3 carries. Come on, he's most of his yards in his career has come from the Giants. Use your brain, Dougie.
Exactly. Yeah. The way that he's been playing against the Giants, bro, I'm giving him the ball 10 times in that game.
You definitely got to implement him in the game plan. But let's let the third member of the Battlebird podcast just got on. Shout out to my guy Philly Fresh, aka the Dent General. Go ahead.
That you know what's going on, man. You know who it is. You know what it is, man. Apologies. I had an altercation today. Oh man, I ain't used these in a while. But anyway, we gonna get to it. What's going on? What's going on these shows, man? Appreciate you coming on the show.
I appreciate the invitation, my brother. I appreciate you.
2 guys, man. Thank y'all holding it down for me, man. Seriously, it got a little hectic for me this morning. But I'm good. I'm back now. I'm back. What's up? Listen, to hit on real fast what you were just saying, Tone, what was our identity? It was the RPO. You know what I mean? Doug Peterson used the RPO. The league caught up with it, and he just been in the backlash. He been in the back ever since. You know what I mean? When it comes to creative play calling, that's really all he had. When it comes to bringing things to the table. Now we need to see something. We need to see something different because once again in 2017, a lot of people want to talk about Carson. Carson has been playing the same with a little more turnovers, yes, but he's playing the same aggressive way that people keep trying to grind him up for. And then when he doesn't play aggressive, oh, you didn't do enough. You can't have it both ways, man. You know what I mean? Either you're going to want your quarterback to be Manila and be a game manager, or you're going to want him to do the things that he does best.
Be
You know what I
yourself.
mean? His coach is not putting him in the predicament to do that. His coach is hindering him. His coach is not rolling him out. His coach is not running the football. In 2017, we another identity. We had a three-headed monster, LeGarrette Blunt, Corey Clement, and
JJ.
I mean, so when you look at it, we can have those three things right now. When you look at it, Howard coming back. When you look at Miles Sanders, our all-purpose back. When you look at Boston Scott, can do a lot of little things that people don't notice that he can do, like pick up blitzes.
Exactly. Boston Scott is not afraid to pick up a blitz. Miles Sanders, they block beautifully. They block beautifully for two guys, for two running backs, honestly.
Right, but when you look at it, we have the tools. Doug Peterson has all the tools to build a house, but you're not utilizing them. You know what I mean? You cannot try to hammer in a nail with some pliers. You know what I mean? If you got the right tools, use them. I don't understand why he didn't run the football. I don't understand why you don't run the football, period. But last week it was really suffocating to me because you want your quarterback to be a game manager, but you're not managing the game as a coach. That's a problem with me. You know what I mean? He didn't run the football enough. I didn't see not one time he ran the football. If he did run it twice, back to back, I didn't see it. You know what I mean?
One game where you run the ball 3 times in a row. Give me a game where you run the ball 3 times in a row. I want to see it. I just want to see it once.
And I'm gonna keep saying this, bro. I'm gonna keep saying this. When you look at it, we seen even Andy Reid or Eric Bieniemy, who's really calling the plays. We seen them come out the first game of the year, run the ball 8 straight times, and you got Patrick Mahomes behind center. So if you can see, with a rookie running back, you know what I mean. So when you see him and a guy like Andy Reid can give up play calling, you know what I mean, to a guy that probably is better at it. I don't know. Who knows?
He uses a committee.
Yeah, I want to elaborate on something. I want to elaborate on something that Fresh said real quick.
You can't hear us?
I can't. My computer is low as hell. Go ahead, y'all.
I wanted to elaborate on something Philly Fresh said. Look, so he talked about Pat Mahomes with game 1, rookie running back, they ran the ball. You know, a talented quarterback like that, and they ran the ball. Let's look at all last year. Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks were one of the heaviest run teams. You got a guy in Russell Wilson who can throw the ball, and Pete Carroll was using him almost like a game manager, but like this: run the ball. It's successful running the ball, and then let Russell Wilson make 1 or 2 plays that game to win you it. Listen, Baker Mayfield is not that great, but what Kevin Stefanski is doing is they're running the ball. Baker make 1 or 2 plays to win the game. Carson Wentz, as a game manager in a vanilla offense, is going to look like a 10-point loss to the Giants. If you get Carson Wentz a run game and let Carson Wentz roll out and do what he does a couple times a minute, let him throw the ball 25 times, get it more of a 50-50 balance, you're going to see that pass to Miles Sanders last year. You're going to see them wowzer throws. But when you're dropping them back 50 times and the defense is like, well, let's just drop back in coverage because they're not going to run it on us. And even if they run for 8 yards, the next 4 plays are going to be passes. So it doesn't matter.
Bro, we're the only team in the league on 3rd and 15 can convert on a run just because the whole league is like, oh, shit, they ran the ball.
Yeah, listen, I want to piggyback off of what Mike said, right? When it comes to, running the running game, and how Stefanski knows what to do to put Baker in the right positions, right? And, using their running game with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, so on and so forth. So when it comes to Baker Mayfield, right, he's at his strongest on 2nd down. He's at his strongest. He actually has a 107.4 quarterback rating, 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Now, the reason I brought that up to you is because that's predicated off the running game. He's at his best at 2nd down, meaning that his running backs are not putting him in 2nd and long situations constantly. That's where those 8 touchdowns and that 107 quarterback rating come from. They're running the ball
ahead of the sticks.
Exactly. They're staying ahead of the sticks. They're running the ball well enough to the point where as though their passing game is able to get open. they're able to roll him out. They're putting him in positions.
But
and we can't allow.
But real fast, I'm gonna let you keep going. Let me interject. What a lot of people don't understand is when you're on second and when you're in 2nd and 4, 2nd and 3, the
makes everything easier.
Is way open rather than being 2nd and 15 on your 11-yard line. You know what I mean? Like the playbook is not. The playbook can't be used as much as it would on 2nd and 3. And real fast, Tone, and I'm gonna let you go. But I got a beef with Mike right now. I got a beef with Mike. Yeah, I got a beef with Mike because I shout out to LB. I seen you on LB Live, and you disappointed me.
Go ahead.
You disappointed me. You was asked who was the better quarterback, Baker Mayfield or Carson Wentz, and you say Baker Mayfield. Let me ask you this. Hold up. No. I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna get out your way. Let me ask you this, and even this year, I get it. The question was this year. He said, if you put Baker Mayfield in a situation of Carson Wentz, who do you think is the better quarterback? Who do you think is going to do more? To be asked that question, Mike, and to not answer it properly, I am very, very disappointed. All right.
Well, listen, I'm not here to please anybody, first of all. One.
You don't need to please me.
The second thing is this. The question was worded as who's having the better year. They're not saying whose situation is better. They're not saying whose coach was better. Who's having the better year? And right now, you can't really say that Carson Wentz is having a better statistical year than almost any quarterback. Again, hold up.
But you just put in statistical. It wasn't statistical. You didn't
go back and rewatch it.
It said having a better year. And when you talk about having a better year, yes, you got to put in it's football, Mike. It's not basketball. You got to put in all the components around you.
Let me finish what I'm saying. Again, in that video, which anybody can go watch it, I said Carson Wentz, I will pick Carson Wentz over Baker Mayfield. He's the better quarterback, but he's not having a better year because of his situation. I spoke everything I said in that live stream was to say that their coach uses their quarterback in a better way than our coach uses our quarterback. That's what I said. Go back and rewatch it. But
I watched it about 3 times, and the more I watched, the more I wanted to cry.
All right, well, listen, if I ask you the question, who's having a better year this year? Carson Wentz is having a better year than Baker Mayfield.
All right. So if you their record is better. But
no.
Let me ask you this: do you know Baker Mayfield's stats?
It's better than Carson's.
Do you know his stats, bro? I'm asking you a question.
Not off top of my head.
So how can you tell me he's having a better year if you don't even know his stats?
Not off top of my head, but I know he has more left interceptions, more touchdowns.
You can't say that.
All right. So listen, Baker Mayfield is right here. This is what he's doing this year. Baker Mayfield so far this year, he has.
I'm
supposed to hold the live stream up and say, "Hold up, let me go pull up some stats."
No, I didn't say that. I said, when that question was asked, did you know Baker Mayfield's stats? You didn't. So how can you say that?
So
I know
you don't even know his stats.
I know he has higher everything than Carson Wentz almost.
How do you know that if you don't know his stats?
Because Carson is the bottom of the barrel at this point.
Once again, bro, you don't know where Baker Mayfield is at.
He's not at the bottom of the barrel.
You don't know that because you don't know the stats. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Mike. You don't know that.
So, do you know his stats?
No, I don't. But I would not have answered that question like that.
Fresh, how many?
So don't try to put me there.
Fresh. If I just asked you the question right now, you weren't going to take the time to look up the stats. How many touchdowns does Carson have this year?
I don't know. I can't hear.
Do you even know how many?
This is what I'm saying. All right, guys, hang on.
How many touchdowns does Carson have this year?
Let me bring some clarity.
How many touchdowns does Carson have this year?
He's got 12.
I know that. I wanted to see a freshman on top of his head.
If it was being posed to me, okay, it's in the eye of the beholder. The one thing I will say in Carson's defense is when he squared off against Baltimore and Pittsburgh, he had better games than Baker did.
That's true.
Okay. Yes.
All right.
And again, real quick, go back and watch it.
Something wrong with my
I worded it as I said Carson Wentz is a better overall quarterback, but he's not having a better year. That's my exact words. That was my exact words. Carson is the better overall quarterback, which the Cleveland Brown fan even agreed with us. The Cleveland Brown fan agreed that Carson.
I don't care what she said, Mike. Listen, I don't care what you said.
Anyway, so I'm saying Gate City and Tone DeShields. Let me ask you this question now. Can you say that Carson Wentz is having a better year than Baker Mayfield in 2020? Yes or no?
In totality, all things considered, no. Carson Wentz is not having a better year. All things considered. All things considered.
Gate. Say whatever's on top of your head.
I'm gonna tell you why.
It's not simple though. It's not simple. It's
not simple.
It's not simple.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I just think you're wrong. I think you're wrong because how much we just went on a whole spurt. I don't know how long y'all was talking about Doug Peterson, but we just went on a whole spurt about running freaking football.
Right.
Run the ball. We just went on a whole spurt about Cleveland running the ball.
I will say this. Let me just say this one last thing.
Running backs in the league.
Let me just say one thing.
Running backs in the league.
Let me just say this one last thing. This is a season I don't think you can really judge Carson because I don't think this is who he is as a player.
Agreed.
In that sense. But here's the thing. I'm not going to hold it up and then turn
this. Say that on here, but then you made a video saying that Carson was playing bad. So either you're going to judge him or not.
Carson Wentz is playing bad, but it's not who he is. That's why I won't give up on Carson because the body. I say that.
Both things can be true. Both things can be true. Both things can be true. Two things can be true. Like both things are mutually exclusive. He can still be having a down year, but at the same time, his situation doesn't help him at all.
Wait, Tone. I'm done after this. My last video that I put out on Saturday. And I said, who gets to blame, Doug or Carson? I said, it's 50-50. I said, the reason I won't give up on Carson.
It's not even
okay. That's your opinion. Let me just finish. The reason I won't give up on Carson is because the body of work I've seen, I know he's talented, and I'm not going to just chalk it up, as your name would be, to that he's not good
Mike,
because of the situation.
Mike, let me give you my perspective and push back a little bit on this concept of Baker being better than Carson. When he's played better teams, he's been straight garbage juice.
That's true.
The Raiders, garbage juice. Indianapolis, garbage juice. Baltimore, garbage juice. Pittsburgh,
Houston,
garbage juice. Houston, garbage juice. The only teams he's really shined in are Dallas. Defense is garbage juice. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Washington, good pass rush. Good pass rush, but if you can hold that pass rush, you can take advantage of them. You get what I'm saying? Like, I think the argument you can make, Mike, is that what you could say for Baker is when Baker got the easy layups, he took them.
He took advantage.
Okay,
and Carson hasn't done that.
And here's the thing. The question was asked, who's having a better year? I'm on a live stream. I'm not going to say, well, let's pull up. It's not my show to pull up all the analytics. But I do say every single time, if I throw some slide on Carson, I let people know. And it's like, well, you can't be both ways. Carson Wentz is the guy I want under center for the Philadelphia Eagles until his contract is out. But at the same time, he hasn't played great this year. He hasn't played good this year. He does it in spurts, but that's all we see. And I'm not going to say that this is who Carson is because I don't believe in the play calling. So, again, when I talk about Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, I have to see these two without Brett Brown. And I'm not going to get rid of Carson Wentz because I'm blaming the play calling.
I would say if I was asked that question, Mike, I think my response would have been more along the lines of like, to be fair, I don't trust either of these quarterbacks this season.
And then we elaborated throughout the whole thing is that both our quarterbacks have been playing bad. But their coach manages him a lot better than ours. It's been established a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think definitely Carson being mismanaged is a big part of what's happening this season. But
it's still this season.
Yeah, no, I get where you're going, Mike. I'm not faulting you for having the perspective you had. I'm just saying I understand where Reese is coming from, though, too, which is when you really dig down into what Baker has done, the only really thing you can say that he's done that Carson hasn't done is take advantage of the really crappy teams he's played. But when he's played the better competition, he's been doo-doo juice.
But hasn't that always been a gripe with Carson that he doesn't take advantage of the layups?
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't take advantage of, you know, the things that's, you know, given to him. No, not, and again, Fresh. I'm not slighting Carson.
I don't know if that's scheme based.
Because I honestly, I believe, I believe Carson is better. I believe.
I mean, I heard different. I hear that, you know, he takes advantage of lesser teams, and that's all he can beat. And this stupid behind stat of teams over five. You know why I hate that freaking stat? Because are you taking a stat in when they play? Or are you taking a stat in when the season is over and what their record is? Because when you look at the 49ers win, that's going to go into, that was a bad team and a bad quarterback. But when you look at it, when we played them, their defense was balling. But when you look at it, Carson Wentz is not going to get that credit because at the end of the day, them dudes is probably going to end up with 5 wins. You know what I mean? So when you look at it, it's like, damn, like, are you taking account when they played when they're saying that he beat a over 500 team? Or are you taking into account when the season's over? I know Gay City, you probably know more about that than me. I really don't know. That's why I hate that stat. I really hate that stat, man. On any
I don't listen to it because most of the people that put these stats out are Dallas fans and they misquote things. You know, I made a whole video where I tore their asses apart because they were giving false information out. And the fact is that Carson Wentz has like the second highest win rate against winning teams since 2016.
That's true.
Flat out.
Wow, interesting.
Flat out. But nobody wants to talk about that. They want to say he's got a losing record. Yeah, no crap, man. There's only like 3 quarterbacks in the league that got a winning record against winning teams. Like,
right.
All right, let's get back to let's get back to this Cleveland Browns game, and because it's already 12:35, let's get to some of these things. Again, Fresh, give us your take on this, Brown. Since you came later, give us your take on just like, man, how do you feel? Is this a must-win game to you? What's your take on that?
I mean, I think every game right now is a must-win. That's how I'm looking at it right now. And it's hard for me to say that in the middle of the season, well, a little games before, after the middle of the season. But man, when you look at that loss to the Giants, it was disgraceful. It was disgraceful. And then coming off of a win, we was, none of us on this platform was excited. Nobody that I talked to was excited about that Dallas win. And then you follow that up with a Giants loss.
And
it's like, man, and all the scrutiny, everything
coming off a bye, like how you do that coming off a bye.
But if we know Doug Peterson is not good on buys, and that's another thing. Once again, can I get a 1 o'clock win, please? Pretty please with sugar on top. like what's going on? Like y'all don't come to play. Now, I do want to say, man, I appreciate Carson Wentz addressing the team or whatever the case may be. But it's a lot of people that need to address this team.
I got a question
for you. Rodney McLeod is playing bad.
Who?
That's just facts. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm not going to hold you up. I've been trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But you look at all the things that he has been doing wrong. He is bad. And he's supposed to be the leader of this defense. It would probably be Darius Slay next year, but he's supposed to be that guy. He's supposed to be that guy that puts people in position, and he's not doing it. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I said this in about 2 videos ago. The loss of Malcolm Jenkins is really standing right. It's really showing its tail right now. I'm not even going to lie to y'all. And it's not just the physical presence; it's the mental presence. You know what I mean? It's putting guys in position to where this defense guys can be in position. I'm trying to tell you that run on that, probably the first one might have happened, the Daniel Jones run. But last week, that would not have happened with Michael Jenkins.
Oh, none of them misdirection runs, yeah.
He's putting people in position to where as though they make that. He's in the box making plays his damn self. As much as Jalen Mills wants to flex every time he makes a tackle, he is not that guy. He's not that guy. I don't know what guy he is, but he is not that guy. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I got a problem with this defense, with this run. This running game that we're about to face scares the hell out of me. Agreed. For the fact of it's going to be raining until about halftime, probably. You know what I mean? I don't know if Doug is going to run the football back at them. Myles Garrett being out, that's I want to play players at their best, but hey man, it is what it is. He ain't here.
We can use all the help that we can get at this point.
Exactly. So, we got that, man. And I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I still got the Eagles winning. Y'all already know how I get down. I would never ever pick against my Eagles. But I'm not coming into this game confident. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm not coming in this game. I'm not coming in this game confident until I see Doug Peterson either give up play calling or show me something different. Can I get some? Can I get some? Can I get some comeback routes with Rhaegar? Can I get some? Let's take it old school. Steve, let's get some button hooks. Can I get some button hooks? You know what I mean? Can I get some end rounds with Rhaegar? Why? If Rhaegar is the type of guy. He's a Swiss Army knife. He takes contact and he keeps it pushing. Use this dude, get this dude out in space. Everything is so vanilla.
They need to use him like a.
Not utilizing the middle of the field. That's a problem with me. Dallas Goedert should be been used these last 2 weeks way more than he has been. That's a problem to me. You know what I mean? Everything is out. Everything is up and out. That's how our playbook is. It's up and out. That's a problem, man. The middle of the field should be used more. You know what I mean?
Seen that hook route fresh. I ain't seen that hook route since like D-Jax and Macklin.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, can I get something? Now, I ain't gonna lie. That I think it was either it couldn't have been third down. We ain't make 0 and 9 on third down. Oh my goodness, man. But I think it was fourth down. That first fourth down, I liked that play. It was kind of like a pick play, but a crossing route to Rhaegar, and Rhaegar just grabbed. I liked it. Now that should be a touchdown play. I would have said that for a touchdown. But anyway, I like stuff like that. Why can't you give me more of that, Doug? And I guarantee that wasn't Doug's play. That probably was Richie Rich or Morningwood play. You know what I mean? Like I just need some. Can I get some creativity? Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like a first grader drawing. It's no you're trying hard, but there ain't no creativity. Like you know what I mean? But man, go ahead, man. Let me
I just want to say I'm exactly where Fresh is at when it comes to this game.
Agreed.
I do not listen. I try not to bet on the Eagles in general when it comes to big betting. I'll take bets with people who just don't like the Eagles. If you're a Cowboys fan and want to bet me, I'll bet no matter who we're playing, just for GP. But this is a game that is. If you look at this team minus the record, I think we're more talented than the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? We're more talented as a whole, but we've been more talented than a lot of teams we lost to. So it's like I gotta see it. And again, for those who've been following me since last year, me, Gate City, and Philly Fresh been rocking since last year, and we are what you call optimistic fans. If we're mathematically in, we're gonna hold it. And when we haven't been on this panel since we've been mathematically out, but we're still going to give you the optimism for next year. But again, I don't like to lie, so I'm going to be on the same thing as Fresh. I don't feel good about this game, but if we don't win this game, what game are we going to win? Are we going to beat the Packers, the Seahawks, the Cardinals? So it's like this team, hopefully Carson Wentz addresses the team. Huh?
No, I said in the New Orleans.
Yeah, so hopefully Carson Wentz addressing the team. Hopefully, maybe that's something that can spark some energy in this team because, 1 o'clock games have not been friendly to us. But we close in on this thing. Go ahead, Gate and Tone, say something. Then we're going to get to our playmakers. And
Fresh, I got a question for Fresh. Hey, Fresh, so I know you mentioned Wentz adjusting the team, and I asked Mike and Gates' question already, but I want to get your opinion on it. So we all know Wentz had to adjust the team. Well, he chose to adjust the team, so on and so forth. And I'm pretty sure you heard the rumor about the team's poor practice habits, correct?
Yeah.
So I guess my question to you is, do you believe Wentz should be the one answering these type of questions? Because I don't. I believe Wentz shouldn't even be asked questions when it comes to practice, the team's practice habits. He doesn't schedule anything. He doesn't set up anything. He's not involved. Or he doesn't play call. Like his hands are not involved in that. That's all Doug Peterson top down. So my thing is, do you believe, for one, why isn't Doug Peterson answering those type of questions? Or if he is, why is Carson keep getting asked these type of questions? Fresh, I don't understand. I just want to hear your opinion on that.
Do I think it's fair? No. Do I think he should be asked? Yeah. It's the media. It's the media. See, what we fail to realize with the media, it's not about asking the right questions. It's not about who should be asked the questions. It's about selling. It's about tidbits or whatever it's called.
Headlines.
You know what I mean? It's about stuff that people are going to watch, read, and listen to. It's not about what's right or wrong with the media. And it took me a while to figure that out. But now that I figured it out, I understand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't get it twisted. I definitely understand. Don't get it twisted. But it's just one of those things that it just doesn't sit right with me. Like I personally feel like
no. I get you.
Couldn't even
see. My only thing with the media,
I put it on Doug. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. I get that. My only thing with the media is when they ask the question, right? They ask the question, it's answered, and they don't like the way it's answered, so they'll ask it again, but kind of try to put a little different way, like the whole basically the Brett Favre thing. I didn't like that. I took that a different way.
I took that a different way a little bit. I took that a different way, and let me tell you what I mean by that. I took that as the media, because if you peep what he said when he asked him the first time, he strictly just said, "Hey, that's Brett's opinion. I'll leave it at that." And then it kind of, I guess the media was looking for him to defend Wentz. They was looking for him to jump out the window for Wentz. And when he didn't do that the first two times, I guess
but that wasn't the question that was asked.
No, right. I understand what you're saying, but I think I'm just trying to play devil's advocate, right? I think that was their angle in terms of, damn, you're not defending your guy definitively, like sheesh, like. And then the more media guy tried to kind of help him, like, hey, you don't agree with him, right? Like he trying to, like, it seemed like he was trying to, lead him to the water. But it took Doug, to get frustrated to the point where he was like, you know what? Yes, Carson's my guy. Yes, we went up to got Carson. Yes, Carson's my guy. Now stop asking me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. That's how I looked at it. I just looked at it as the media trying, especially the Philly media.
I know we ain't got a lot of time, so I ain't gonna really get into it. Probably try to have you on again, and we can discuss that. But we got a couple things. I'm gonna let Mike take it, man. I know you got a couple things that we trying to do before we get up out of here.
Hey, real quick, shout out to BLSG with the $5.
Real fast. Hold on, Mike, before you get a super chat. I've been reading the chat, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. Mike is my brother. I'm allowed to disagree with him, come at him, or whatever.
It's all
Let
good.
me tell y'all this. Anybody else that do it, you face me first. So people in the comments, I see y'all. No, I was not trying to play Mike. I brought up something that I disagree with him about. You know what I mean? And that's that. But let me tell you, that's my guy. If you got a problem with him, you got a problem with me. Go ahead, bro.
I appreciate you. Shout out to BLG with the $5 super chat. Hey guys, our D line must put pressure on Baker and Nick Chubb. I agree, man. That's going to be a staple to us. Hopefully, getting a win. But let's get into some predictions. Players. Who's going to shine on offense and defense and help us get this W? Tone, you want to go first? Should I guess?
So I think the people that need, if we're going to win this game, Miles Sanders and Boston Scott are the keys. Miles Sanders must have at minimum, and this is just Miles Sanders I'm talking about. Miles Sanders at minimum must have 20 carries at minimum. Boston Scott at minimum must have 10 carries because he's behind him, so I don't expect him to get as many carries. But I expect those guys. I want those guys to be utilized more in the passing game. Lining those guys up. On the wide out. You know what I'm saying? Like next to the wide receivers. My thing is like Doug needs to get creative with his running backs. They are the most reliable guys on the field right now, besides Travis Fulgham. Get creative with your running backs. So I believe Miles Sanders, along with the other running backs, are the key. Hopefully, Elijah Holyfield gets some tick.
There you go.
So who is your guy? You just name my guys. Who is your guy?
My guy's Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders, the key to the game.
And defense.
The key to the game. The key to the game is for defense. I'm going to have, because you gave him so much slack, I'm going to say Ronnie McLeod because he got to show up. He has to show up. Ronnie McLeod needs to be that hybrid all over.
Okay.
He has to. He has to. Because, in my opinion, when it comes to pass coverage, he's actually having a better year than he's ever had when it comes to passing coverage. But when it comes to the running game, he's been slacking. So I believe Ronnie McLeod needs to be the key to this game. He needs to have his hand on everything. He needs to be everywhere. So Miles Sanders and Ryan McLeod are my two guys.
Okay, I'll go next. Unless you want to go, Mike, because everybody. I know you're not gonna pick who I'm gonna pick.
Mike kind of get his picks in, so nobody takes all his stuff.
Yeah.
No, but my offensive guy is Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce came out there with a horrible showing last week, and we didn't grind him up enough. Man, he was bad, bro. He was bad. Like when you look at so many snaps and not only it was one play, right? He had a low snap and completely missed his block, and Carson Wentz got sacked. I'm like, dude, how can you do two things wrong that bad? But because I think that we need to run the football, because I think that we have to run the football, Kelce is going to be a big part at getting at the second level, moving these linebackers, and having Miles Sanders and Boston Scott and probably Holyfield to get big yards, man. Jason Kelce is the guy that I'm looking at, and I think Jason Kelce. Now there's no stats for him, but this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a guy that I think that can help this offense just win this game. Defense. I need a relapse from Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham had a bad game, and I understand he was getting doubled. They doubled Brandon Graham a lot. If you look at the tape, wow, Hull and Fletcher Cox, they was just getting the business. You know what I mean? Brandon Graham, I need you to come back. I need a couple tackles for loss. I need a sack or two. I need something from you, big guy. You know what I mean? So they my two guys, man, and they're on the line. So there ain't really no stats gonna really show up. But yeah, they my two guys. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go quick, and then we're gonna all wrap around and just say our score predictions at the end. But hey, shout out to the chat. We got 283 people in here watching. 283. I might not show that on where you're watching it because we are live on 3 channels: Philly Talk Podcast, Gate City Sports Channel, and Philly Fresh Channel. Do us a favor, wherever you're watching it, smash that like button. It helps push the content out, and we appreciate you guys. So do us a favor. It's free. It's easy. Smash that like button. And I'm going to go on defense. I'm going to go on Nickel Roby-Coleman.
Interesting.
He hasn't been what we wanted in the slot corner. I actually think if we put Avonte Maddox there, he'll play better in that slot corner. But do you really trust Nickel on the outside? I really don't trust neither of them on the outside. I'm hoping Nickel Roby-Coleman comes up big on defense, something in that secondary, and on offense. I don't know if this is allowed, but I'm going to say Doug Peterson. But I'm going to say Doug Peterson because this man has been a big part of the problem, and we just need him to run the ball. It's raining. It's going to rain all day.
This is the easiest. This is so easy for him. He got to just run.
Yeah, the rain is forcing him to run. So if he don't run in the rain, well, he going to have to run. Listen, I'm not on the fire Doug Peterson wagon yet, but if he doesn't give up play calling or change, well, then there's nothing else we can do. I'm not dead set on firing him, but he's going to make he got to do something, because if it's him as a play caller, would being the head coach or not as the head coach, well, then I'm going to side with the not head coach. So Doug, do something. Matt Nagy gave up play calling last week when they lost to the Vikings 19-16, I believe, or something. But Matt Nagy gave up play calling. He's a guy who called his plays. I'm not saying that's why the Bears are losing, but just last week he came out before that game and said it's going to feel weird being at the game, not calling plays, but we needed to change up the offense. He's a stubborn guy. He gave it up. Give it up.
Doug is more stubborn, clearly.
Go ahead, Gabe.
All right. Offensively, I'm going to go with Carson Wentz, and I'll give you a bold prediction. Last week, I gave you a bold prediction. I said he won't have any turnovers, and I was right. Thankfully. Didn't matter. We still caught the L. Didn't matter.
Oh, man.
This week, I'm going to take it a step further, and I'm going to say my bold prediction for Carson is for the second game this season, only the second game this season, he's going to have a QB rating above a passer rating, like QB, a passer rating above a 90. It'll only be the second game this year. So That'd be my bold prediction. That's what I think has to have a good game. It has to be Carson, okay? Whether he throws the ball 30 times, 25 times, 35 times, 40 times, he's got to have a good game. He's got to set things, you know what I'm saying, forward. Defensively, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm going to take Reese's boy because I think this is a big moment for Josh Sweat. Vinny Curry is probably our best run defending defensive end on the football team, and I believe he's injured. I don't think he's playing this game. So if Vinny Curry's out,
No, he's not.
That
he's not injured. He's on that. He's on that.
COVID,
No,
right? COVID.
yeah, he on a COVID thing. Yeah.
So that means that Josh Sweat's got to step up and be a lot better against the run this game. And I think this kid, there's something about Josh Sweat, man. It's there. He's talented. It's there. I think he's going to have one of those games that people don't recognize, but when they break down the film, they're going to go, man, this kid played really good.
Yeah.
All right, get your score prediction so we can get up out of here, man. Hey, real fast though. Listen, I use my refrigerator as a shelf too. That's what I was laughing at, y'all.
I was laughing at that joke.
Hey, yo, if you ain't from the hood, if you don't use your refrigerator as a shelf, man, what you talking about? Cereal go up there, rice go up there, all the things the mice can't get. Go ahead, Steve. My bad.
All right, no, you good, man. Score prediction. You gave me time to actually think. I'm gonna say I'm never gonna pick the Eagles to lose. I can't. I'm an Eagles fan. I don't do that. Yeah. But I'm gonna say 24-21 Philly.
I'll go next. I said on LB stream, since we bringing that up, I'm gonna keep it to my same thing. I said 2017, but then LB talked about going for 2, and I said, yeah, we're gonna go for 2, not get it, and so we're gonna kick a game-winning field goal to win 19-17. Because we would have got 20, but we didn't get an extra point. So I got 19-17. Eagles winning on a Jake Elliott wet last-second field goal that makes us kind of believe in him again.
Okay. I think I'm going to go the route of 23-17. 23-17. I'm going to go that route. Eagles 23, Browns 17. I'm going to go that route. Because I think we're going to put up. Oh, no, you cool. What I say? 23-17 Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to put up. They're going to put up. What is that? They're going to put up at least 3 touchdowns, but they're going to try to go for 2 on at least one of them. So that gives us 20 points, and then I think we're going to have to kick a field goal. You know what I'm saying? So I'll say 23-17. 23-17 Eagles.
Fresh. Real quick, then shout out to the super chat. BLSG.
Hey, Murph the Kendall, yo, that. What?
No, I was gonna say shout out to BLSG with the $5 super chat. I got the Eagles.
Listen, man, I don't think neither team. I don't think neither team gets in the 20s. I don't think neither team gets in the 20s. I think this is going to be because people don't. Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
People don't understand that. Since Cleveland did not score a touchdown until damn near the end of the third quarter last week. It was 3-0 for a minute. You know what I mean? And it was windy out there, just like it's going to be today. It wasn't raining, so that's even worse for guys like Carson Wentz and Baker Mayfield. I don't see a lot of points. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I got it being like 17-10. Something like that, Eagles, of course, but I don't see a lot of points this game, unless it stopped raining at halftime, like they saying it's supposed to. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't see a lot of points. I don't see nobody getting in the 20s, man. 17-10 Eagles. Yo,
it feels like the Buffalo game. You remember last year? We were not supposed to win that game, right?
Oh yeah, I remember that game.
Conditions put us right into Buffalo's strength and took away what we do well. And we weren't supposed to walk out of that game with a W, and we did. We dominated.
Miles Sanders went off because we fed the running backs. Miles Sanders went off that game.
Mm-hmm.
But look like man. Mike got out of here early. Shout out to him. He got to go do
back again with a vengeance.
Oh, he back. He went to go get something to eat. Hey, Tony got something on the top of that fridge.
Hey, yo, listen. Frosted Flakes, Fruit Loops, whatever you need, I got it.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to say thank y'all that joined.
Again, man, shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody, man.
Man.
We will see y'all post game. Y'all already know how we get down. What the hell going on? We will see y'all post. We're gonna see y'all post game, man. I'm out, man.
Yo, appreciate
y'all.
y'all.
Thanks for joining the FanDuel with Mike, man. I'm gonna really appreciate y'all's money. So that I just want to say thank y'all for joining.
Hey, real quick.
I'm so grateful for everybody, man. I appreciate you guys so much for allowing me to come onto the platform, giving me the opportunity to chop it up with you guys, man. I'm just eternally humbled and grateful, you guys, honestly.
Facts. And hey, Jalen, I just did the trade. I'm trying to do the other one. My bad, I didn't see it. Shout out to Kevin Bacon with the $4.99 super chat. It's raining. I got to be in an ugly, hard-hitting, in the trenches type of game. My score prediction is 14-17 Philly. I like it because he's one of them negative Wentz guys. But shout out to you giving us a W, my guy. Appreciate you. I will be seeing you guys later. Make sure you smash that like button on the way out wherever you're watching it. Let's go get a W. You know what time it is.